We've all been waiting for this for a long time. The major pickems for the perfect world Shanghai Major 2024 is upon us, my friend. And you see it on your screen right now. It's open, it's activated. You can now go in, buy your token, buy your pass, and you can do your pickems together with me if you want to, or you can do your own. I don't really care. What I know is that I'm gonna do my absolute best to lead you guys to a diamond coin. Now, I have a pretty good track record, a couple of diamonds, a couple of golds. I've never failed getting a gold, which in itself is not too shabby. I know last time people were mad that I couldn't get a diamond when we headed into the playoff, but fact of the matter is, was it less than 2% or 1% who got a diamond coin because it was such an unpredictable major? I'm not God, but I'm doing my absolute best to make sure that we have as highest chance as possible to get the diamond coin. So let's dive into it. First and foremost, I have opened the homepage called majors.im on my phone, which is a match predictor, so we can walk through some of the games and you can walk through some of the matchups. And we already know the opening games: Furia, Gamer Legion, Virtus Pro, MIBR, Team Liquid, Cloud9, Complexity, FlyQuest, yadi, yadi, yadi. So, to those of you who don't know the pickems, quickly I'll just introduce it to you. You have these 16 teams, and we have to find out who we believe is going 3-0, who we believe is going 3-1 or 3-2, advancing, and who we believe is going 0-3, which means being eliminated. You get 1 point for each you place correct. So let's say that you place Virtus Pro to go 3-0, but in fact Virtus Pro is going 3-1 or 3-2. You don't get a point for them. Even though they're advancing, unless you hit the 3-0, you don't get a point. Same up here. If you place Virtus Pro to go 3-1 or 3-2, but they go 3-0, you're not getting a point. So that's something you got to keep in mind. We play tactics up here. So do you want to risk it all and take one of the favorites to go 3-0, or do you want to gamble a little bit? So let's look at some of these teams. Bottom up, we have Imperial, Radom, Wildcard, Passion UA, FlyQuest, Cloud9, MIBR, Gamer Legion, Pain Gaming, The Mongols, Fnatic, Big, Complexity, Team Liquid, Virtus Pro, and Furia. All right, so in the opening game, you have Furia taking on Gamer Legion, you have Virtus Pro versus MIBR, etc., etc., etc. So in the opening games, I don't want to place a team like Furia 3-0 when they're playing a team like Gamer Legion, because I think Furia could lose to Gamer Legion. However, I feel somewhat confident that Furia should find a way to make it to the next step. So I'm going to put Furia right here, straight off the bat. I don't think Furia have what it takes in order to go 3-0. They didn't look that great during the qualifier. They struggled even qualifying for the major. But I do think they will advance, just not as a 3-0 team. So boom, just like that, we have Furia going right here. Virtus Pro is facing MIBR in the opening game. That could be an interesting one. Team Liquid facing Cloud9. That's a very open matchup as well. Could be interesting. Complexity versus FlyQuest could also be interesting. Big versus Passion UA. Big were looking super, super solid. Fnatic versus Wildcard. I think that's a win for Fnatic. The Mongols were Adam, and Pain Imperial. Pain Imperial is another one of those that can go either way. So we don't want either Pain or Imperial to go 3-0. Now, who's likely to go 3-0? Let's play with the idea that the vast majority of the favorites is winning. Then the second round matchups would look something along the lines of Complexity versus Big, Team Liquid versus Fnatic, Virtus Pro versus the Mongols. Interesting matchup. Furia versus Pain. I think there's a good case to be made. I think you're risking a little bit right here. I think Complexity could be one of those teams that will make it 3-0. I think they have what it takes. I mean, the opening game against FlyQuest, that should be a win for Complexity. The second game could be against Big. That's a close game. Big are looking good. They're looking solid. I do, however, think Liquid should be the favorites in that matchup. Oh, sorry, Complexity should be the favorites in that matchup. And then in the final game, they could get Furia, they could get Pain Gaming, they could get a lot of different teams. So it's very hard to predict. It all depends on the game. So we can try to forecast the games, but one matchup, doesn't go the way you think it will, and that changes the entirety of the seeding. So I think that's very tough. Some of the teams that I suspect will go through, but not as a 3-0 team, it'd be the likes of Furia. It'd be the likes of the Mongols. I don't think the Mongols have what it takes in order to go 3-0, to be completely honest. I'll be honest with you on that one. I think the Mongols are looking great, but is it a 3-0 team? I'm not really entirely sure, to be completely honest. I think the Mongols could go through. I think Fnatic is a team that I expect actually to go through. Cloud9, the Mongols. It's tough, man. It's tough. Oh, it's tough. Ah! I don't want to let you guys down. I really don't. See, this is me theory crafting as we go along. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments what you guys end up with. I think if you look at the 0-3 games, that's probably easier to get that out of the way. I think Wildcard facing Fnatic in the first game, that's going to be a loss. Then according to the seedings, they could face Cloud9 or Team Liquid actually, or MIBR. I think Wildcard would have a tough time making it. There's a case to be said where Wildcard would face Rare Atom in the 0-2 game. Passion UA would face a team like Imperial in that game as well. That's interesting. That's interesting. Wildcard. Do we think? Yeah. You know what? Oh, this is tough. I think some of the favorites to go 0-3 is by looking at how this is going to pan out. It's definitely Rare Atom. It's definitely Wildcard. It's definitely Imperial. I think Passion UA and FlyQuest. I think you have 5 teams right here who can go 0-3. I don't think any of these teams are going 0-3. There's too much quality within these teams. They're going to win a game. So essentially, there's 5 teams to pick from. If you're picking anyone else than these 5 teams to go 0-3, I think you're making it tough for yourself. I think you're making it very tough for yourself. Looking at how it's playing out. So realistically speaking, Fnatic beating Wildcard. Wildcard then facing MIBI in an 0-1 game. I think MIBI is going to win that. And then Wildcard will face Rare Atom in the 0-2 game. So do you believe Wildcard will go 0-3 or do you think Rare Atom will go 0-3? I must be honest, I think that's a close game to call. Same could be said, when you look at the opening games, you have Complexity taking on FlyQuest. FlyQuest will lose that game, I think. Then you have FlyQuest versus Passion UA already in the 0-1 game. So that's a very risky one between these two. I reckon Passion or FlyQuest could win that one. I'm not really sure. Gamer Legion would face Rare Atom. That seems like a stable. And then Passion UA, Rare Atom. Bro. That's tough. It's such a tough call. I think I'm most comfortable putting Wildcard as an 0-3 team. I think if it's between Rare Atom and Wildcard, which one do you believe more going 0-3? I don't know why, but I feel Rare Atom have something extraordinary, and I think for Wildcard that's going to be tough to quantify in a best of 3 game, unorthodox style, the Asian Counter-Strike, very aim heavy, in your face, so you could argue NA would be the same style of Counter-Strike, but I think the Asians just do it better, in that regard. Like Chinese players, Asian players, the mechanical skill they have is up there with the best, bro. Their understanding of team play, etc. Maybe not always, but I think that's going to be a tough game. I think Wildcards will be one of my 0-3 picks. And then for me, it's between... Ooh, guys. Scheiße. For me, it's between Passion, UA, Imperial. I mean, the thing is, you could also be like, okay, you could play it safe and be like Rare Atom. So take both. These two teams are likely to face each other in the 0-3 game. Very likely to face each other, which means you're guaranteed 1 point. And you just want 1 point. If you can get 1 point right here, 1 point right here, you just need to hit... how many is it? You get 5 correct, right? So you just need to hit 3 out of these 6, which is somewhat doable. So that's a way of doing it safe. Or you could gamble and be like, I believe Imperial will go 0-3, boom, and then go for the entire thing. Is there a world where they are not facing each other, where Wildcard and Rare Atom are in 2 different games down here? I'm just playing with it now to help you guys out as well. Unlikely to happen. Liquid will beat them, yeah. Imperial will be there for sure. I think so, actually. Imperial are facing Pain, but they could win their game as well, and then that'd be Liquid, Pain. Yeah. This is looking good. And then Rare Atom would play someone else. They'd play FlyQuest. You know what? There's a world where Wildcard is facing Passion UA and Rare Atom is playing FlyQuest. So there's a world where that happens. I think I'm going to stick with this. I'm going to go Wildcard and Rare Atom. I'm quite convinced that one of the 2 teams will go 0-3. I think FlyQuest will beat Rare Atom in a best of 3 scenario. Close game. Could be FlyQuest to be fair, but I think they've looked somewhat decent, somewhat solid over the time. I'm gonna go with these two. Okay, that's settled. I'm not gonna change that, even though it's a tough call. you know, there's a high likelihood they face each other, and there's a decent likelihood, depending on some results, that they are in two different Oath-2 games, which means we can't get point for both. So I think this is the safest way of doing it. Either you get 1 point, you get 2 points, or you can risk getting 0 points if they win a game. But I don't know. You never know with these ones. Now, who's likely to go 3-0? We had the conversation before. I think Furia will win their opening game against Gamer Legion. It's not a guarantee. Gamer Legion could win that one, which means Big versus, yeah. Ooh. See, here it is. I think Big will make it. I don't think they'll make it 3-0. I think Complexity is the team that I believe have one of the highest chances of going 3-0. I think Virtus Pro as well. Virtus Pro will face MIBR. They'll win that game. Then they'll face Imperial. Or... wait. They'll face Imperial. If Imperial beat Pain, they'll face... oh, they'll face Cloud9 if they don't. And then Big will face Pain Gaming, which is good for them. So that's good for a pick in that regard. Then, okay. You know what? I think Virtus Pro. I think Virtus Pro have what it takes to go 3-0. They've been shaky. They've been looking not that solid. It's a bit of a risk, you know. Could they lose to Cloud9? For sure. Could they lose to Fnatic in that 3-0 game? They could for sure. Fnatic would play Wildcard in the first game. They'll win that. Then they'll play the Mongols, and that's a close game in a best of one. That could go the way of the Mongols, which means Virtus Pro will play the Mongols, which I feel comfortable about then. Yeah, so neither Fnatic or the Mongols are. Fnatic will make it through with the Mongols will make it through. I think then Fnatic would beat Flycrest. That looks somewhat decent. I think Fnatic would blame F have looked somewhat solid, yeah. Ooh, my dudes. Team Liquid will make it through, not as a 3-0 team. This is tough. I mean, as I said, these 5 teams are my favorites to go 0-3, so I don't expect any of them to make it. So it's between these 4. Cloud9, Gamer Legion, MIBR, Pain Gaming, and Fnatic. I think Fnatic is higher likelihood to go in that position. I'm playing with the stats right here on my phone. I'll walk you through it in a second. Ooh, my dudes. What are we doing here? This is important for us. Furia, the Mongols. That could be an interesting game. The Mongols win that, then they make it through. I have them. I have the Furia ones, and then Big would face MIBR in a deciding game. I think Big will win that one. You had Gamer Legion facing Cloud9 in a deciding game. That's interesting. And you'd have Furia play Pain Gaming, and I feel more comfortable in Furia than Pain. So I'd rule out Pain here based on these results, then, because then you'd have Big versus the Mongols. Oh, that's a tough one. Cloud9 versus Pain. Oh, that could screw up a lot of things. And then Gamer Legion versus MIBR, which makes me believe Gamer Legion have a decent chance. I only have 1 spot left. My dudes. What if Big beat Team Liquid? They won't. Then Liquid will play Pain. That's perfect. Gamer Legion will play Cloud9. Mongols plays MIBR. Yeah, they won't though. The Mongols beat Furia. They won't beat Fnatic. What about this? Then Complexity goes down here. Ooh, Complexity could be in trouble, but we have them as a gamble 3-0 pick. That's fine. There's a high likelihood in a lot of in a lot of different scenarios, again, this can all change depending on results. In a lot of different scenarios, Gamer Legion face Cloud9. Who do you believe of Gamer Legion and Cloud9 will win that game? That's my final pick right here, because that's not most likely, but there's a high likelihood or a higher likelihood that could be a game. Cloud9 versus Gamer Legion. Gamer Legion looks so poised and so solid, but the roster is not that, not that sexy. Same for Cloud9 really, but Heavy Guard has been killing it. I feel like they are trending upwards. Just looking over the results for the Armor just to remind myself. They lost to FaZe, beat Nemiga, beat Sangle, beat Sinners. You know what? I don't give a damn. Boom. I think this is it. I think that's where we're at. I think if it comes down to Gamer Legion versus Cloud9, this is going to be it. A little bit hard done to the Brazilian boys. Pain, MIBR, and Imperial will all not make it. Furia will. I think experience will play a hand in this whole setup. Virtus Pro, Complexity, bit of a gamble, to put them up here, but regardless of who you put up here, it will be a gamble. Furia, Big, the Mongols, Liquid, Fnatic, Gamer League. I think these are my pickems. Boom. And you know what I'm going to do live here? Just so you guys can see the legitimacy of what I do. I'm going to take a screenshot. Oh, sorry. I just tapped out of my game. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to hit F12, take a screenshot, and log him in. Boom. This is it, my friends. Road to the diamond coin. As you could see, a lot of theory crafting going back and forth, a lot of playing with the matchups. You can play with your matchups yourself at majors.im. You can copy my pickems, you can change them up a little bit. I promise you, I did my best right here, and I will do my best to guarantee you the diamond coin, or do my best to give you the diamond coin. However, if I were to fail at the first stage, I am still going to do the second stage, still going to do the third stage. As I said, the worst I've ever gotten was a gold coin, so I think that's pretty cool. And you know, not even, was it 10% who got a gold coin last time around? We were in top 10% and you guys were still hating on me. Anyway, let me know your pickems below in the comments. Let me know what you think about these pickems. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to drop a like and send this video to your friends so we can get that diamond coin together. Thanks for watching.